What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. A few new cards from Japan's next Sword and Shield expansion, VMAX Rising, were revealed during the current Champion League that's going on, I believe, in Tokyo. That's being live streamed over on YouTube. And between matches, they revealed a few new cards. Two of them are kind of reminiscent of older cards, and they're actually pretty good, and I'm pretty excited about them, so I definitely wanted to talk about them on the channel. Before we start talking about these new cards revealed, though, I want to shout out my sponsors, PotownStore.com. You can use code CELIO for 5% off there, and they specialize in PTCGO codes that are automatically emailed upon purchase. And also FlipsideGaming.com, where you can use Celio, all caps, for 10% off, and I write weekly free articles over there, so check them out as well. So, 3 new cards revealed for VMAX Rising. I'll start with the one that's probably the least exciting, which is Duraludon. It is kind of exciting since it's the first Duraludon card, but it's nothing too flashy, really. So 130 HP basic metal Pokemon. It has the attack Metal Sharpener for a colorless, 30 damage, attach a metal energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So this attack is something that we've seen a bunch of times on different Pokemon, basic, evolved, GX, non-GX, what have you. And I actually think it'll be okay. I could see it being included in ADP decks, like ADP Zacian or even Zacian decks that don't include ADP, just because it has the metal synergy. And also, those decks I don't think really have a great one prize metal attacker. And also, Metal Sharpener after Alter Creation GX would be doing 60 damage. Take an extra prize card if you knock out with it, and it can also refuel your benched Pokemon. So I think that's pretty good. Power Beam is pretty mediocre. 2 metal and a colorless, 110 damage. So nothing too special there in Power Beam. Overall, the card is not very exciting, like I said, but I do think it could be used in ADP decks moving forward. So the next card we're going to talk about is the first Sonia Supporter that has been revealed. And immediately upon seeing it, it reminded me of Roseanne's Research. When I saw the untranslated version, I noticed there were, the number 2 was mentioned twice. So I thought maybe it could be like Alana's fishing rod, but for searching out of the deck, which would kind of make it like a Roseanne's Research. So if you don't know Roseanne's Research, it's a card from 2006, 2007. Search your deck for up to 2 in any combination of basic Pokemon and basic energy cards. Show them to your opponent, put them into your hand. So I was hoping it was kind of like this, except search up to 2 basic and up to 2 basic energy, which kind of sounds really powerful. But I think it's going to turn out being more like a combination of Roseanne's and also Pokemon Fan Club. And Pokemon Fan Club was just a watered down version of Roseanne. So with Roseanne's Research, you could search for up to 2 combination of basic Pokemon and basic energy. With Pokemon Fan Club, you can only search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon. So, the card we're talking about here, of course, is the new Sonia Supporter, and you'll see, if you look closely, you can see the number 2 mentioned twice within the card's text. And then we've gotten the translations, and also, by the way, all these translations, shout out to Pokebeach.com. So the translation shows, it reads, search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon or up to 2 basic energy, reveal them and put them into your hand. So, it's not as good as I was hoping it would be. Maybe search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and up to 2 basic energy was too hopeful, but I don't think it could be a toxic card. Like, it's just extra consistency, and I'm always welcoming that. But this is kind of just a buffed Pokemon Fan Club. So the Pokemon Fan Club, of course, reads search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them into your hand. Now, Sonia gives you the option or up to 2 basic energy. So if you see the Sonia later in the game, whereas if you saw a Fan Club late in the game, maybe it's of no use to you, and it's not even an option as a supporter to play. Maybe Sonia could be an option to mid-game and late game as a supporter to play if you needed basic energy, and of course it's still there if you need the basic Pokemon. So it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but of course I'll take it. New consistency and search cards are always welcome. I was hoping it was a little more like a buffed Roseanne's Research, and I guess it's kind of in the middle of Pokemon Fan Club and Roseanne's Research. So the third card we're going to be talking about reminds me of another old card from the infamous set Stormfront, my personal favorite set ever. It just had so many great cards in it, and one of those cards was a Gengar. This Gengar, everything about it was great. It had 0 retreat cost, it had a fine HP, and it had 2 great attacks and an amazing ability. So what we're going to be focusing on here, because it's the new card that we're going to be looking at is reminiscent of it, is the feigning spell, Pokepower. Once during your opponent's turn, if Gengar would be knocked out by damage from an attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is knocked out. Feigning Spell was a ridiculously good ability, as well as Gengar just being a great card overall. So the card we're looking at here is the first ever Cursola. It evolves from Galarian Cursola. So Cursola. It gets kind of tongue twisting and confusing to say, and the more I say it, I feel like I'm not saying it right, so I'm just gonna stop. But it is a stage 1. It has Psychic HP 100, and its ability Perish Body is what we're looking at here because it's really similar to Feigning Spell. Actually, it is Feigning Spell. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, flip a coin. If heads, the attacking Pokemon or the defending Pokemon is knocked out. So yeah, technically I guess it would be the attacking Pokemon since it is attacking. But yeah, your opponent's Pokemon would be knocked out. So this is like really good. It could be used as a wall or it could be used as an attacker. Maybe you also put Spell Tag on it, so you have a guaranteed effect even if you flip tails off of that flip. But yeah, so knocked out by damage, flip a coin. If heads, the attacking Pokemon is knocked out. This could be really strong because it forces your opponent to swing with something they don't mind being knocked out. Maybe it just makes them take a risk. Maybe it makes them not attack at all, or it makes them play around it and knock it out with damage counters or an effect or special conditions or something like that, so Perish Body does not go off. And then it does have 1 attack, Corner for Psychic Colorless. It does 60 damage. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. So the attack is pretty mediocre, maybe above average at best. This card would not even be worth mentioning without the ability, but because of the ability, it makes the attack somewhat okay. And like I said, maybe you pop a Spell Tag on it, or a Giant Bomb. Sorry, I was trying to think. It's not Bursting Balloon, Giant Bomb. But yeah, I think, or you could just hit and switch into it as like kind of a wall type Pokemon that your opponent doesn't really want to hit into. So I think it's a really, really cool Pokemon. I think the Pokemon itself is amazing, and the card is also really cool, and I like seeing that kind of effect come back from a card from the past that I really liked. And Sonia and the Galarian Cursola both reminded me of older cards, which is why I wanted to kind of highlight them here in this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video looking at these 3 new cards from VMAX Rising. It's Japan's next set in the Sword and Shield era. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more content. Like I said, hope you guys dug the video, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.